All right, so for today's algos, we have string dedupe. So just so you know that where the algos are, like this should be the primary algo. If you have time, like if you finish this one and you want to work on something while everybody else is working on this one, then you can do the second one. The second one is no easy task. I mean, it's kind of tough, but anyway, work on this one first. And then if you have time, do the reverse work. So string dedupe, it's given a string, you return a new string with the duplicates excluded. And the bonus is to keep only the last instance of each character. To be quite honest, I'm not sure what they mean by that. I guess they want you to go backwards in the string. I don't know. So given the string, well, so let me ask, what does anybody want to just restate this? Like, how would you, if I were an interviewer and I gave you this problem and you were dressed in a suit, how would you respond to me? What would you say?
First question would be asked, so do you want the capital and the lowercase to be two separate entities when I go through it?
Absolutely, good. So do you want, what about capital letters? What's another edge case? What's another issue?
And I would ask, like, since there's multiple, like the third string where it's like hello or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, do you want it to be numbered, or do you just want to just put out just this is the duplicates and just have it the way it's supposed to be?
Yeah. So this is actually, this is my addition, if you can tell, that's not really a word. What I want, the edge case I was thinking of was, what if the characters aren't sequential? So what if you have like the E here, but then you have 3 E's over here? So that
was confusing.
I'm sorry?
That one, the string 3 is kind of confusing.
Right, and I did that on purpose. Because if the temptation might be to say, okay, I'm going to go through and I'm going to loop and I'm going to basically use the sliding window thing, right? I'm going to say, I'm going to compare the first and the second character. If they're not equal, go on to the next one. And if they're equal, start kicking them out, right? But if there is non-consecutive characters that are duplicates, what should we do, right? Should we remove the duplicate characters? And I think the purpose of this and the point of this is, yes, you should be able to remove. The response for this should be this, right? Everybody. Okay, that's cool. All right, so this E, right? We should remove all the duplicates. So these E should be gone. And I put an R at the end just as a test. That doesn't really have to be there, but yeah, so all duplicates should be removed, not just the consecutive ones. Okay, any other questions, edge cases about this one?
You keep giving us algos that make me want to do nested for loops, and then I know you're going to tell me that it's not the right way.
So yeah, okay, so this one, I can't think of a way to do it without a nested for loop. So sometimes it's just, you've got to have a nested for loop. There's just no other way to solve the problem. But this one you can definitely do without a nested for loop. And it's going to be using the kind of a version of the, I'm blanking out, frequency counter that we talked about yesterday. So let's do, let me go over the second one and then we'll do a quick pseudocode on this one and then I'll let you guys get started. So for this one, given a string containing space separated words, reverse each word in the string. If you need to, use split to start. And I would do this using split just because we don't have all day, right? You got to get somewhere. So I would split the string on the spaces. And then again, if you can come up with a way to do it without nesting a for loop, I would be very impressed. I solved it using a nested for loop. So I would like to see if there's a way to do it without nesting a for loop. But basically, you're reversing the string or reversing the word within the string. And then you're not reversing the entire string. You're taking the first word, reversing it, right? And then going on to the next word and reversing it. And the same down here, you start with the first word, reverse the first word, go to the next one, reverse the next one. So it's not just like this is just the reverse string, but you'll notice that, whoops, sorry. This one isn't like DLROW space OLLH, right? They take each individual word and reverse the words in place. Okay. Questions about this one? Okay, so coming back to string dedupe, this is the one I want you guys to focus on. What's the input?
String,
String, right? What's the output?
also a string.
Also a string, perfect. So taking, and if you can't get this one to work, I wouldn't worry too much about it. This is my little challenge for you. If you can get these to work, cool. But yeah, that was kind of weird that there were only 2 test cases, so I threw this one in there. So what would our first step be? What are we going to do?
For loop.
Okay, for loop. Okay, what are we going to do in the for loop?
Run through each one, identifying kind of like what we did the other day,
Mhm.
where you identify one character and then see if it matches the next one or something. Or
Yeah, I mean, that kind of the unhelpful pseudocode would be like check for duplicates, right?
yes.
Okay, so I want to show you, and the video that I did for the frequency counter was just terrible. So I'm going to re-record it. That way it's more helpful. But basically, just to review, a quick review, a frequency counter is what type of data structure?
An object.
Sorry?
Conditional.
A frequency counter? Is
Yeah,
it?
frequency counter, what I talked about yesterday, where we take, like, if we went through and we wanted to count how many occurrences of H, how many occurrences of E, how many occurrences of L, right? So if we had, like, if we were making a frequency counter for this string, it would look like,
Dictionary?
yeah, it would be, an object, right? So it would say like H would have a key of 1, E would have a key of 1, L would have a key value of 2.
Okay, so it's like a heuristic that a frequency counter is an object.
Yes, yeah. Object in JavaScript, a dictionary in Python, just like the word is associative array. So anytime you're instead of keeping like a list or an array where the index is just a number, we're able to index an actual value and see what it is. Let me see, there's something in the chat. Map, good, thank you, Mario, good. So for this one, hello would be 2, right? So the best way I think to solve this one is to use like a modified version of the frequency counter. So you're basically going to do like a Boolean check. So you'll set up your, probably, I would say, create a variable called scene and set it equal to an empty object. And then as you iterate through, the key will be different each time. So you're gonna basically check H, right? So the first time you're gonna say, has H been seen? Like, have we seen H before? And it would be basically H is false. We haven't seen H, right? At first. But then when the loop starts, you're gonna say, okay, I saw H. So this should be changed to true. Okay. Then we're gonna go to E. Have we seen E? At first, no, there's no E in our object. So we're gonna say, has E been seen? That becomes true. Okay. And then we get to L. Has L been seen? So L, when we first see it, it becomes true. So the next time through, like when we get to the second L, the seen value is going to be true. So you're going to be able to say, scene L, oops, horrible typist, sorry about that. Scene L is going to be true. So you can use this as the condition, right, for your for loop. And if this evaluates to true, then you can just kick out the next letter. Does that make sense? Who's following me? Let me just get a,
Say that one more time, please.
sorry?
Can you say that one more time?
Hmm?
Yeah, scene part.
Absolutely. So you're going to start the loop, and you're just scene is going to be, it's going to start out as just an empty object, right? So just like we normally do, you say, create a scene variable, set it to an empty object. And then as soon as we start the loop, right, the first iteration through, the letter we come to is H. So we're going to change its scene value to true. So we're going to say H, and the scene is true. And we're just going to keep track of the items that we've seen, okay? So the next time through, we come to an E. So we've seen an E. So now we say E is true. We're going to come to an L, right? The L value or the L key is now going to be true. Okay, so each time through, you're going to check the value. You're going to check, okay, have we seen an H, right? Or have we seen a J, right? No, there's no J, right? So the value would be false. We would go on and we would add that. So if this is false, if scene J is false, we add it to the object.
And then the next time it comes to another L, you're gonna, the thought process is it seen or has it been seen, right? It's the has it been seen?
Yes. So you can do it. You can go from
Has it-
either direction, right? You could say,
Okay.
has it been seen or has it not been seen, right? You can
Oh,
say,
so we're saying has it not been seen?
yeah, you can say,
Okay.
is this true, right? Have we not seen it?
Yeah, okay.
That's, yeah. So you can do it either way. It's, you know, which 6-1 half dozen the other. It's either,
Right. I was
Yeah.
just making sure that's, in this case, we were doing it that way. Okay.
so if this helps, use it. If not, there are other ways. There's, you know, more than one way to skin a cat. So you can, if this is like over your head, that's cool. Just, you can use some other, just more logic in your for loop. But this is probably the easiest and best way to do it. And just check. So just to come back to our sample, right? So if we say, come to L, right? We're gonna, when we get to the second L, scene L is going to be true
Yeah.
because it's in our object. We've kept a record of the fact that we've seen it. So if that's true, then we can do the logic, whatever we do to like pop it or however you want to not add it to the new list, what, you know, whatever you want to do.
Nice.
Okay. Questions about anything? All right. I will put these on Discord. I have added them to the repo, but I'll put them on Discord as well. And let me stop sharing. Stop.